Hello and welcome back to A Cage Sustained, Season 2, Episode 4. I am Chris Bernal, aka Crifu, and I'm the Game Master for this, a dramatic actual play of the Pathfinder Adventure Path Curse of the Crimson Throne. Let's meet our players.
Hello, my name is Liza. I play Confidence Bright, the Halfling Inquisitor of Abadar and the Commissioner of the Corvosan Intelligence Agency, who is freaking out because there's a plague in the city, and God was pretty clear that he wanted her to do something about that, and that's pretty intimidating.
Moving on.
Hi, I'm Sylviana, and I play Ivor Locks, who is a 17-year-old human aerokineticist and the head babysitter for the Sable Company, which is the lawful good military organization in Corvosa. They have not been brought in on the plague-fighting business. Not sure why, but Ivor is the Sable Company's official representative to the KIA, and he is also anti-plague. But he doesn't really know what to do about it. He doesn't really know how to do much, honestly. He looks to Confidence for guidance on those things. But he is an excellent babysitter and great with kids.
And right above me.
Hi, I'm Pooja. I am your friendly traveling player of this campaign, and I play Simran, a self-magus, who is a 19-year-old student of the Academy, which is the magical school here in Corvosa, and she is decidedly anti-plague. In fact, it freaks her out a lot. But like Ivor, she really doesn't have much of an idea what to do. All she knows is that they have to stick together, and they might have a chance of figuring it out.
And they might have a chance of going on another date.
That too. When people aren't dying, though.
Or
continuing clockwise.
And I'm Homero. I play Nucine, the Angel Arcanist, the Transmuter of the Academy. And to address the question in the chat, Nucine is probably the closest to pro plague, but mostly like neutral plague. Not so much pro plague. Let's not actually say that. More of just
I think doesn't have any skin in the game, so to speak.
That's a great way to put it. But at the same time, I think Nucine is also the one that has probably read up the most on civilizations and history, and probably understands the actual severity of a plague hitting a small, basically an island, because Corvosa is essentially an island with just like 2 exits. So, like, it's easy to quarantine, but if it escapes there, it'll pretty much just ravage the entire countryside. So Nucine understands that like that's going to affect the entire like economy / structure of an entire society if it comes to fruition and destroys a lot. So Nucine is still looking at big picture stuff, ignoring a lot of the little minor stuff.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit more macro than micro.
I'll have to think about that. Finally.
I'm Scott. I'm the occasional player of Ursian Krupt, a human fighter and former armiger of the Hell Knight Order of the Nail, and all-around law-abiding citizen now. That's about it.
Well, your name on the overlay is different. If you want to explain that one,
I don't.
Can you establish if you're pro or anti-plague?
Oh yeah, that is important.
Yeah.
I am
For the upcoming election.
I am anti-plague all the way. I mean, come on. The people. Someone's got to take care about the people.
Speaking of, took care of some people last time. A gang of were-rats here in the sewers, in a very small part of the sewers under Old Corvosa. Before we were able to all gather up properly, though, we were interrupted by a new vigilante in town, the Hatchet. Maybe not that new, because we recognized his moniker as an old one that seems to have been is being reused. An old enforcer of the Cerulean Society, the Thieves Guild here in Corvosa. We were able to talk down most of the were-rats thanks to Confidence's Silver tongue. I was gonna say golden tongue because that's very Abadarian.
It's more appropriate, I feel.
Golden tongue. But Gearrigs, the leader of the gang, wouldn't step down, not until the party had to show him what's what, and his lover had to beg him to stop. Was he able to be calmed down? And they let him live, the KIA did, with the promise that he would stop killing humans or not follow through on his war on the world above. It was pretty intimidating, so I think it did the trick. But now, as we step out from the sewers in the night light of Corvosa, we see 4 people of the KIA. Confident Sprite, Ivor, Lux, Simran Darve, Nusine Van Autre, and a 5th person, a tall, imposing figure wearing a mask, the Hatchet. You step out of the sewers, and there are 2 other people there, also wearing masks. One of them is another Hatchet in a blue mask. The other is Blackjack, halfling Blackjack. And they all look up as you step out.
I have a question. Why do they call you the Hatchet? I mean, you used a sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's been bothering me.
He pulls out a hand axe. I have one of these too.
Well, yes. I don't know. I expected something
More
else.
More
More
hatcheting?
hatchets.
Did you not want to be too literal, or what?
It's the name that we have taken based on an old name, an enforcer of the Cerulean Society, someone who used to carve up the underworld, and we do again in our own way. It's a symbol. The hatchet's not the weapon. The hatchet are the people. We act as the tool.
It's what a hatchet does. Halfling Blackjack steps into the torchlight. The tool of the common man.
Exactly. Thank you. Very eloquent.
I know about your business in Old Corvosa, Hatchet. Grisly stuff. But
It's a grisly place.
I appreciate a man who draws a line in the sand.
Yes, you can see that I'm not a mindless killing machine. You laid out the parameters of the mission, and they were met effectively.
Yes, like I said, I was surprised, pleasantly. I hope, with everything that's going on, that if you come across any information, that maybe we could work together again. I'm assuming this is sort of a we don't call you, you call us sort of thing, given the whole vigilante aspect.
It's safer for both of us if that is the case, though.
Maybe we could have some kind of signal. Like, what if we got this big lantern and then we could put like a symbol on it and then we could shine it in the sky onto like clouds or the moon or whatever, and then you would see that symbol and then you would know that we want you to come talk to us and we need your help.
Would that need like a really strong daylight spell or something?
Yeah, I mean, that would do. I was just thinking, like, if we just get, like, a lot of lanterns and just put them together to make, like, one, like, giant lantern.
That seems a bit excessive. Couldn't we just
We
have
could do it on the top of
message?
the Great Tower.
Well, if you feel like paying those resources, or if you'd like, you can put a hatchet into the door anywhere in the vicinity of the Sticky Mermaid. Someone on my organization will find it and know that you're looking for me or us.
The half-orc man in a dark blue cloak. Dark blue cloak?
Yeah, dark blue.
And a mask steps forward and he nods, his hand on his own hatchet in his belt.
Question, do we then get the hatchet back, or do we have to keep buying new ones every time we want to contact you?
Or maybe you'll bring it to the meeting.
The hatchet hands you a hatchet. I have lots of these, actually.
Would other people who need to call
Cool.
you have? Would you be able to know it's us and not some other folks?
You're the only people who I've made this kind of arrangement with.
Fair enough.
Like I
In the
said,
meantime, if you need to find us, we have, an office where people who have issues can come. And I tell him where it is.
that seems like an appropriate means to reach out to an organization such as yourself.
And, while I appreciate your help, we were down a team member tonight, and I am given to understand that that's your doing.
That was my fault. It was a miscalculation. I was trying to... He was the one that who'd been asking a lot of questions. I was hoping that by sending him in a different direction, the rest of you would have followed, perhaps to find him or to make sure he was safe before proceeding with your mission. Though you felt capable of taking it on without him, I miscalculated. So be it. I can go find him for you and send him back in your direction if that would be helpful.
I don't think that's going to be necessary.
Good.
We'll go find him and make sure he is safe. And if he's not, we'll know who to blame.
It was a miscalculation. And again, one I shall not make again. Like I said, I misunderstood. And if we are being completely honest, and I often am, I don't think my team would have fared as well in the sewers without your intervention, both in keeping the peace and also surviving, he says, while eyeing the half-orc at his side. So you have my thanks as well, and I shall try not to get in the way of KIA business in the future. You clearly are looking out for the city in the best way you can, and so am I, and I would prefer we have a professional courtesy between our respective organizations.
I hold out my hand.
Okay. The hatchet looks at it and says, and then after some hesitation, reaches out and shakes.
Well, tell your people to stay inside. This plague is nasty business.
Well, we are wearing masks. He says, I bid you good evening. And he looks at Blackjack and says, Blackjack?
The halfling nods back at you silently.
And then he goes off running into the dark.
Bye,
Half-orc follows
Bye,
after
halfling.
you.
Yeah. He turns around waving. No, just kidding.
Bye.
Bye. Runs a little bit.
No,
Bye.
oh my god.
It's like a hatchet. Like
No.
I turn and run off down some dark alleyways.
Mhm.
The half-orc at your side, Hatchet, after a moment or two, a couple beats as you get further away and maybe slow down. Boss, this plague's looking really bad. Everyone's saying that it's that ship from last night that brought it here.
It's possible. It's a little bit beyond what we usually have to consider. Are you concerned about being out? Would you like to hide in where you can and wait out? Or would you like to continue to do what you can to aid the city in the meantime?
I'm not sure what I can do. The half-orc kind of shrugs. But if you got a plan, I'll follow.
If you grow sick and die, it would probably most likely happen anyway. But when we let fear control us, that's when we have the looting and the riots and the panic. And that's when people like us are needed even more. So you know what to do. There's no compulsion to stay in this organization any longer than you need to. So if you want to be part of it, you know what to do. And if you'd like to walk, you know where the door is.
But what if I don't know what to do?
Then I'll tell you what to do. You do what I tell you to do until otherwise.
That's what I was asking.
And now you know.
Oh,
Whenever
well,
you
what
get
should I
sick of
do
it,
then?
lead the patrols, keep an eye on the streets, make sure that people aren't acting, taking this panic as taking advantage of that situation to prey upon others. Look out for looters, look out for rioters, look out for agitators making trouble, look out for people who are calling for violence because they're scared and don't have the right answers. These are the things to be on the lookout for. This place is a powder keg.
Imagine the camera kind of like slowly panning out, just like but like it's still fully focused on like your eyes behind the mask. He's just like, all right, the usual then.
Always.
And Conrack nods to you and turns around.
Okay. Then I let him go. And then I wait for him to turn away. And then I slink off and try to find a place to find a good place to change. Maybe a phone booth.
So we'll let Scott change his outfit as we head back. The two cloaked figures have just left the hatchets, rather.
Hatchlings.
And Blackjack turns with his hands on his hips. Well?
Well,
Did you
Well,
wanna,
what's going on?
get dinner or something, or what?
Sorry, Sylviana, you're kind of... Am I the only one who's having trouble hearing Sylviana a little bit?
I can
was
turn
fine
my
earlier.
volume up.
Yeah, you're a little softer than usual.
yeah.
Let me turn the gain up on my mic.
All right.
I was gonna say.
Okay, cool.
Input volume.
There you go.
Increased. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
That's better.
Better.
There we go, thank you. Sorry, technical difficulties. What's going on? Halfling Blackjack says to you all, you always seem to know what's up before anyone else.
And if we did, why would we tell you?
Well, because I could help.
What kind of abilities do you have to help against the plague?
I get around. I knew well enough to come out here to find you.
That's true.
That is curious.
How did you know to be here?
I've got my ear to the ground.
Well, has that ear heard anything helpful about the plague?
Not really.
Any idea where people are catching it? Is it just on the streets? Is it food? Because I thought it was somehow related to food, maybe because of that kid we saw.
Well, from what I know, the first case of it happened at the beginning of this month.
Whoa.
That was a while ago.
About 2 weeks.
Right.
Do you know if anyone's died?
No. Maybe someone down at the temple of Pharasma would know. I haven't checked there yet. I don't really have any contacts there.
Wait, how do you know that the first case was 2 weeks ago? No one else in the city seems to know that.
I overheard it.
Do you know where?
Overheard
town?
whom?
I overheard it in a bar. Don't ask any more than that.
Do you know where this person was sick?
Old Corvosa.
Old Corvus.
Somewhere around here.
Okay, I know you said don't ask anymore, but did you really mean it? Because actually, can you tell us literally everything you know? Because this seems to be super important.
It was sometime after the crab festival.
Crab festival.
Crabs.
Oh, continue, please.
That's it. That's
oh,
all I've
come
got.
on. You were in a bar.
No.
You heard people talking. What did you hear them say? Who were the people?
They heard, it was literally secondhand. Someone was talking about Brady so-and-so who got sick with red pox 2 weeks ago. What else could it be but the blood veil?
Brady so-and-so. Weird name.
I
Is
don't
it
think the
Chilaxian?
so-and-so is part of the name.
He takes a step back, crosses his arms. I came to ask if I could help. But if you're going to grill me like this...
You're helping.
This is you
What you're
helping.
telling us is helping. We need information if we're going to be able to fight this, right, Confidence?
That's exactly right.
More importantly, patient 0 is always the best place to start with some sort of infection or plague. So this is you helping, Blackjack. Brady so-and-so. Which... If you can't tell us which bar, at least can you tell us the neighborhood?
I overheard it in a different part of Corvosa.
Oh.
Okay.
Gossip gets around.
Yeah. Okay.
What part of... Who were these people who were gossiping?
Were they workers? Were they academy students?
Did they seem to know this Brady so-and-so well?
No. It was gossip, hearsay.
Do you know anyone who's gotten ill?
Yes.
Can you think of anything that they have in common?
Can you? Maybe the food? I don't know. I'm guessing he looks at you all that none of you have any answers.
Well, we're dealing with a small sample size, so maybe you could make it bigger.
So far, we have 2 cases linked to crabs. That's about all we have now, with your information.
2 cases. It does seem to be happening around food markets.
Yep.
We have a lead that we're going to investigate related to what we were just doing in the sewers.
Weren't you at the Citadel earlier? Did the guard not have anything to say?
The Queen's physicians are handling this matter. They are to be allowed entry to any building on suspicion that it might contain the ill and the affected. People are being taken to the hospice of the Blessed Maiden. Seems the Queen is styling herself holy these days.
Hospice of the Blessed Maiden.
Wait, that's what she's calling herself now?
Queen's not a maiden.
Look, it's good PR. Anyway, there are royal physicians. They've got these masks, hoods. I have a feeling that there might be something more going on there than just helping with the plague.
Wouldn't be surprised if there were.
Then that's
So-
where I have... Then I think that's probably where I have to start.
Right?
Any information you find out about it, you can let us know. And if you need any backup, you know where to find us, I assume. Any trinkets we can leave around if we need to get in touch with you? Is that the going rate for vigilantes these days?
The halfling chuckles. No, that's okay. I'll leave a note.
Hey,
Well then,
we know that you have ways to get information from inside the castle, so we're relying on you.
Okay.
Hey, someone staged your rescue.
Oh, all right then.
Simran, that was human Blackjack. This is
They're
halfling
all,
Blackjack.
they're all friends. I hope you're friends.
Great. So we have an accord then.
I think we both want the same thing.
To end this and find a cure.
Exactly.
Right.
All right then. Thank you. Keep your loved ones safe.
You too, Blackjack.
And he throws up a rope that just like goes up into the sky straight and swiftly climbs up it and onto a roof.
Nice. I want to be able to do that.
It's pretty cool. If
I
we
don't think I'm
hurry,
strong enough to do that.
maybe we can catch Yellow Eyes still at the market.
Okay.
And then we should go find Ursion.
Yeah, what about Ursian?
He's probably fine, right?
But will he know we're at the market?
The head just said he led him on some sort of wild goose chase. Or
Should we swing by the Sticky Mermaid and leave a note for him or something?
I'm just worried this might be our only chance to catch Yellow Eyes. The sun is going down.
Yeah.
Ursian will probably head home. We can meet him there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll be okay on his own for a little while. Plus, he said he had something to take care of, right?
That's that's true.
If he
Okay.
decided that he could leave the two of you alone to go chasing rumors from a vigilante, I'm sure he can make it 5 more.
Okay, then.
The logic
Simran
is
just
sound.
looks at Ivor with this face.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I think that logic follows.
Okay.
So back.
Let's go talk to this yellow-eyes woman.
Are her eyes really yellow? Well, as we're walking.
Yeah,
I
right.
assume so, unless she has jaundice.
We've
mean way
met
to
her,
mean,
so
I thought
Her
you
eyes
only-
were like a light brown.
yeah.
I have trouble remembering if we were in the room when that meeting happened.
You were not.
Okay.
she's a were-rat, right? So maybe when she's in rat form, she has yellow eyes.
Yeah.
I can't think of another reason why someone would have that nickname, unless they have jaundice, in which case that's kind of mean.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Do your eyes go yellow?
Mhm.
If you have jaundice,
The whites of your eyes go yellow, and so does your skin.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
medical
Okay.
knowledge that Ivor does not have.
So yeah, we just swing into that market, like by Northgate, where the family told us that they bought the crabs, and that's also where Yellow Eyes like sells stuff, right?
Seafood.
Is it?
I thought you
Mm.
said that.
Maybe that's not what they.
You said I thought they were both in Northgate by the.
I said she was a
bridge.
fishmonger, but I don't remember
Oh.
saying where she worked.
Right.
There-
That was
said that
Grouse.
she worked
Yeah, Soldada's
in
niece
Northgate.
purchased crabs in North Point, but we don't think it was the same person. I don't know if we ever even got that old lady with the large basket's name.
Well, let's go to the stall by the gate of Northbridge where we know Brianna got her crabs from. Right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Are you gonna laugh every time I say the word crabs?
Well, no, it's not crabs.
Tomorrow.
It's the actual
Did
structure of the
go
sentence
by
where,
that
where
woman,
this
though.
little girl got
What?
crabs from. Is the structure.
Did we
of that one.
not talk to that woman already?
We did.
No.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
We
Maybe I
did?
made that up.
What? No, we didn't.
We didn't.
We did not.
We talked to Brianna about it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because she went to the crab shop and she also bought a doll from Nanny the Witch, which is a toy factory that we also want to investigate. Okay.
In
Right.
Jagari, yep.
hmm
Okay. Well, it is probably late evening. It's the sun has gone down for sure.
Oh, well, do we know that? I guess I thought it was a little earlier on. Do we know that the market would be closed? In which case, we would not take this detour.
It's toil day, and it's still like but the sun. It's probably dark at this point. 7:30, 8. It might be open. You might be able to catch people there.
All right.
May
Yeah.
as well try.
We'll power walk.
Yeah.
So we head to Northgate.
hmm Oh.
Okay. So we walk into Northgate. Actually, we're coming down from. I'm just looking at the map and like thinking. Coming down through Old Dock, where we would come through Jagare Place first. You can see that the marketplace is quite crowded, filled with people. A lot of them showing signs of the blood veil already. You can see some of their chests and necks, the red pox coming up. Many of the medicinal carts and stalls almost look like they've been pillaged. The owners nearby just kind of like haggardly like, like looking weary and tired. As you go east, you pass by the Longacre Building and City Hall. And from outside the Longacre Building, you can see 3 gray maidens standing watch. And what looks like several other groups of gray maidens like moving equipment in and out of the Longacre Building. South of that, across the way, you can see the Bank of Abadar up those very, very small, like courthouse steps, and the large golden fence that keeps the golden temple separate from the public is shut. Temple guards, bank guards, keeping the public at bay with crossbows and like long, not glaives, maybe not halberds either, but a glaive is probably pretty accurate. Just like the people are like kind of trying to swarm the gates, or at least queue in a chaotic manner.
So
Do they all look really sick?
Yes, I mean every single one of them that is trying to get in are sick.
So, sorry, what kind of equipment were the Grey Maidens taking out of the Longacre Building?
They're bringing in what looked like furniture, but then there were several barrels and crates that they were bringing in as well.
And the Longacre Building is...
City Hall, the magistrates.
That's
Well,
where...
City Hall's next to the Longacre
Oh,
Building.
that's right. No, that's the courts and stuff.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
They were bringing, you said, chairs in and taking barrels out?
It looked like they were moving in, essentially.
They were moving in.
Yes.
What's funny is I originally heard that as Lawmaker Building, which totally tracks with what they do there too.
So the executive branch is taking over the judicial branch. That's
Sound familiar?
normal, right? That's fine.
I think the whole point is that this is not normal.
Makes sense in a republic, as I understand it.
The executive branch is taking over everything, though.
Yes.
Including homes.
Right.
Do we keep going?
As we move further into Northgate, you can see several merchants still trying to sell their wares, fishmongers and crabmongers as well. I think you would all know as native Corvosans that 2 weeks ago was the Crab Harvest Festival. First day of September, Corvosans celebrate by eating crabs. So the best of the harvest has mostly been taken at this point.
I think we're looking around for a woman who fits the description that Brianna gave us.
You can see several women that look, older. Older being a very subjective term to a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old.
She did say that she had gray hair.
Yes.
That's
There's
right.
a basket.
It's called
basket.
Crab Fest, actually.
Okay, very nice.
And it was on the first wheel day of the month. That was the first.
And we also know that this old lady apparently sometimes sells mushrooms. If that helps us get pointed to the right direction. Crabs and mushrooms.
Right.
Yeah, so you can see a few older women, one sitting by a stall with fish and crabs. 2 of them are sitting kind of on stools, and they look like they're knitting repair nets. And one of them is kind of like the younger one is standing there with her elbow on the countertop board. It doesn't look like they're getting much business.
Well, the woman we're looking for doesn't have a stall. She just has a basket. That's what Brianna told us.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You don't see anyone like carrying just a basket around.
Well, I have written in my notes at least that crabs were from a stall by the gate of Northbridge. I don't know if... Maybe I wrote it wrong. Maybe I made it up. I don't know.
6. And
That's
sometimes
true.
children have trouble remembering those kinds of details. Or, like, I'm sure there was a stall. And
Right, she could have been standing in front of the stall.
Right.
And the kid was just
I
like,
think
oh,
we,
that stall's unrelated.
probed Yeah, and she was like near a stall, but
Yeah.
wasn't her stall, or like, does Brianna really understand? Like, if you're next to the stall, is that your stall, or like? But she did
Yeah.
have a basket. I think
Mhm.
that part we can probably take as true.
We could at least ask the dole person over there. I mean, they're more likely to give away information.
The bored person?
Other way.
Oh man, is Nisine one of those people who believes that the
Only boring
educated
people.
mind is never bored?
Yeah, only boring people are bored. Yeah,
God,
absolutely.
you sound like my dad.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I want to meet your dad. What a
All
nice
right. If that's the most likely looking stall, you should walk on up.
And actually, I think they're flush with crabs. Crab Fest celebrates the return of crabs from the cooler waters of the river to their winter habitat in Conqueror's Bay. So, like, they've been
Yeah.
migrating through the area. We're flush, baby. But none of them seem to be selling. As you're walking up,
Mhm.
the human woman, kind of like, oh well, hello there.
Hello. I have just a little question for you. This would have been, what would have been, 3 days ago now?
Mhm.
Is that right?
I think so.
Sure.
3 days ago, a young girl, maybe 6, I described Brianna. Did she buy anything from you?
3 days ago. Oh, gee. I don't know if I was working. She just starts like kind of twirling her hair. But one of the women knitting goes, "Oh, we don't get much wee ones around here. I remember her."
You're the one that sold her crabs?
Finest crabs in all Corvosa that we've got here.
Where do you get them?
Oh, my husband harvests them right at the mouth of the river. He says it's the best spot.
I see. Are you not seeing many of your regular customers days?
Afraid not. I think they've taken ill with the plague. Me and my family, and she like points to the reverse of the other two women. We've always been a hardy folk.
Do you eat many crabs?
Aye, every day. It's the only thing we've got these days. In a few weeks, we'll have a fresher diet, a more diverse diet.
I'm gonna kind of look around at the crabs, see if there's one that looks
Alive?
janky.
Sickly? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking red, but I'm now just
Make a
show.
medicine check.
I'm sorry, a what?
A heal.
A medicine check.
Okay, sheer.
A heal. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it's happening.
Yep.
12.
Well, you've eaten a lot of crab yourself. These look pretty fair.
I'll just
Chris, do you think I could take a look at the crabs too?
Sure.
I only got a 15. Not much better.
Yeah. They look pretty fine to you. One of them wiggles a little bit, snaps at your finger.
Ow! Ow! Jeez.
Ooh, that one likes you.
Yeah. Maybe
You should
it's
take it
got
home.
New pet?
Feed it or eat it.
whole,
That's
like,
what I always say.
eater things swapped.
Feed it or eat it?
Oh, a pet crab is the best thing a lass could have. Or a lad like yourself.
I'll keep that in mind.
How many for one order?
I'll give you 3 of your best pick for a silver piece.
Sure, I flipped him a silver
Okay.
piece.
Thank you.
Perhaps just to be safe, I should handle them.
Nod.
It's already too late for me.
Well, yes, Ivor is a goner. I whisper over to confidence.
Please say something nice at my funeral.
I don't really
Simran
believe
looks
in them.
mildly, genuinely distressed.
Oh, I'm joking. I don't think that I have. I feel okay. I don't think I have the plague.
I hope not.
Okay. We got some
Does
crabs.
Nusi just put them in her pocket?
Absolutely not. I'm assuming they come with some sort of bucket or bag or something. I'm not just putting them in my clothes. These are very
Bag
nice
of crabs.
Yeah, you get a bag. You get a
Okay.
bag of crab.
All right.
You have to
Is one of them
attach
the
them.
live one?
Sure.
Can you
That's
take
up
a
to
live one with
Lucy.
you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sweet. So you got 2 dead crabs and a live one.
Perfect.
It's a very depressing bag for that live crab.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like you're not supposed to buy dead crabs. But like maybe in Corvosa it's like
Maybe
whatever.
they're just knocked out. They're passed out crabs.
Okay.
They're sleepy crabs.
They're
It's like,
KO'd.
get a box. If you like get a box of crabs and like one of them is dead, you shouldn't eat that one.
Right. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
They're sluggish.
They're sleepy crabs.
They're sleepy.
They're sleeping. They've been
I
at the
mean-
bottom of a barrel, like
Yeah.
Fair. I would be sleepy too if I were at the bottom of a barrel.
happened last time I was at the bottom of a barrel. All right. So the ladies nod. Thank you for your business. And they pocket the silver.
I'll go up to Confidence and like whisper, should we ask them if they know where Yellow Eyes is?
I guess that's a question for the GM is do we know where she is? Did she tell us? Or tell me?
I think she said she'd come back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is what I
yeah.
remember. Sorry, maybe I should have said that
No, it's all
earlier.
right.
But I was thinking about it. I was like, I feel like she just said she would come back.
Yeah. I don't think that's urgent. It was more of an if we saw her, we could tell her thing.
Okay.
She said she'd come back by the office.
Okay, so what do we do now?
Go find Ursian.
Yes,
Or,
absolutely.
well, didn't
Mm,
Confident say that he'd be back? If he needs to be back? Or
Fine.
did we change?
I said we'd go and find him in a
Oh.
minute and that 5 minutes wouldn't make a big difference.
Gotcha. Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah, I'm not leaving him alone in a plague-filled Old Corvosa.
No.
Nucine
certainly
didn't
not.
recognize your tone, but Homero thought your tone meant
Oh.
otherwise. My apologies.
No, it was
Well,
just
Liza
5
cut out
minutes
at
long.
exactly that moment
Oh, okay.
Oh, did I?
while she was making very stern remarks. So
Okay, so
Ursion, where are you?
I think I am back I'm in the Sticky Mermaid, and I'm getting help putting my armor on from whomever is around to help me. Because this is kind of a 2-person job, so
It's gonna be so sticky.
I got
And,
dressed.
like on the inside and the outside.
It's just a really, really good name for a tavern. It's not literal.
he also lives there, right? So
He lives
He lives
above
it's done
it.
now. Well, yeah. So he's never not sticky at this point.
Mhm.
So there's a kid, a local kid who
Now it's
like
gonna be
barbacks.
even more sticky because kids are always sticky.
Okay, 15-year-old kid, like
that's
An adult.
the youngest of
An
adults.
A young adult. Oh, hey.
So he's
So this 15-year-old barback that helps you for probably a couple copper, a silver piece if you're friendly.
fine.
I mean, the first time they probably stuck their hand out and were like, the second time you asked, they probably crossed their arms and looked away. Like, hello, I'm not just doing this for free. What are you, some sort of gallant knight or something?
I was like, yeah, you got to get you a squire.
Mhm. Let me be an esquire, and then they flip up their collar and turn it away after they finish doing up your
So
armor.
we should roll for initiative then. That is not going unpunished.
There was a lot.
And a fully plated Ursion steps out into the night.
Mm-hmm. And I've got my helmet, and I've got this like kind of it's masterwork armor. It's really well made. It's got kind of a black finish on it, so it's It's very similar in design to some of the Hell Knight armor that his betters used to wear. He's
Right.
It's less demon facey, but certainly imposing.
This is a new set of armor. We haven't seen Ursion in this.
No, we haven't. This is
Ooh.
masterwork full plate.
Ooh,
He goes
we were
clanking, or he's clanking less than he would.
Yes,
we were headed to the Sticky Mermaid, so we'll probably meet you around, find you around there.
We step out. Maybe you are approaching as I'm stepping out. It just takes some time to get this stupid armor on.
That's very true. So we bump into each other on the street.
Hey.
Hey.
Did you go to pick up a new outfit?
Was that the business that you didn't want to tell us about?
I mean,
New armor?
it's a pretty good surprise. I like it.
So now that we are ready, should we go deal with that were-rat situation?
Ursian, okay, so 1, we already did that. 2, we met this guy and he was so cool. He was like, had a mask and this whole disguise, and he was like, oh, I'm really tough. But then he was like, I'm not gonna kill people because that's the right thing to do. He was the best.
And he
Wait.
says he sent you on a wild goose chase?
Oh yeah, he said that
not-
he kind of was mean to you, so.
That's not accurate. I was investigating some leads that I had been looking into due to some intelligence I was doing, and it just came out a couple dead ends, that's all.
Oh.
He
Yeah,
also called you a
unfortunately.
buffoon, or was it an oath? Was it both?
He called you a couple of things until I set him
Sure.
straight.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Sounds like you had a run-in with the Hatchets. They're a band of criminals who are pretending to be better than other criminals who have been making a name for themselves in this area. Just misguided hooligans, I imagine, but
Well, Hatchet Prime was pretty helpful in battle. I don't know about the hatchlings, though. We don't really get to test them out.
Yeah,
Hatchet
they
Prime.
seem kind of lame. Like, he was
Anyway.
really cool, but maybe he should have just been going it alone.
I didn't realize you were going in without me, but I guess if the
But-
opportunity presented itself, you had to move quickly. So
You literally told us to go without
Very
you.
much told you that was what we were going to do.
yeah, but I didn't realize how long I would take. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
it's my mistake. It shall.
Ursian,
Yeah.
are you hurt?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still suffering from some stuff that I had been dealing with recently. Like I said, it's just this town's getting a little tough. I've been kind of, but I'm fine. I'm. How could you tell? Just a little limp.
I mean, you're bleeding.
Good one. Where am I bleeding from? Actually, where which?
I assume you still have a bunch of hit points.
And like,
Yeah,
and
and he
also-
still has a black guy from like
Yeah.
a week ago.
Oh,
I'm-
and Simran does too, by the way. Simran's taken damage.
Don't
Most
forget-
of most of my rat bites are in my lower extremities,
Oh.
and I am wearing full new armor, so I was hoping to hide them.
I assumed it's probably like some sort of a limp or something.
Yeah, I'm probably not moving 100%. Yeah, it's fine. So,
Did you run into trouble on that goose chase that Hatchet sent you on?
no, it was fine. Nothing I couldn't handle.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just a couple geese or one goose, I mean, Ursian's tougher than that.
See, Ivor makes a lot of sense. We should probably move on from this conversation. Right, Ivor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of moving on to what?
That's a great question. If you're taking care of the were-rats, were they, and you dealt with it because you're still here, and
Hey, how did that conversation go that we weren't there for? We never talked about that. We want to catch up
Yeah.
quickly?
which conversation?
The one Confidence and Nucine and
Oh,
the others
right.
stayed back
Yes.
Was
for.
we were not invited to.
Yep, that one.
yeah. Well,
The
yeah. What's up with that? Right, we're mad at you now.
Matt.
well, you heard some of the details, which I explained to Blackjack. Oh, also, we ran into Blackjack. It was an eventful evening.
Halfling blackjack, not human blackjack.
Yes. I'm beginning to think that they're not actually working together.
You think so?
I just have a feeling. It's a hunch.
Well, one of them rescued someone who was about to be executed from a giant contingent of guards, and the other one was rolling around in a grease pile with me, a couple months ago. So probably different levels of expertise, I imagine.
Exactly. Someone taking on a mantle to try and do something.
But they were
I
both
really want to meet the
helping us
human
save-
blackjack.
Right.
Yeah, who doesn't? Right?
And they
That
both
guy's
helped
amazing.
save the same person. They didn't know it was the same person, but essentially the same person. So they
It
have to have some
is-
sort of communication together.
That's
As
true.
loose as
they
it may
were
be.
both helping people who were framed for the same murder.
Right.
Yep.
So
That's
if
why
they may not
I
be
thought there
working
might
together.
be a court connection or something. Maybe a man on the inside.
Like I said, it's just a hunch, and not, unfortunately, our biggest problem at the
Nope.
moment.
Right.
That's true.
Should we go to inside the pub and figure out what we want to do next?
Yeah, and we have to do something with these crabs.
Oh yeah, New Scene bought some crabs.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, if you're serving, I mean,
These are
I
two.
think that might be a mistake.
They're
Eating
from the
crab.
person who sold them to Brianna.
if eating crabs is a mistake, I don't want to be right. Let's crack them.
New scene, are you gonna perform some kind of test on them?
Well, this isn't my expertise, but if they're enchanted with some sort of magical disease, the magic would still be lingering, and if there's anyone who could identify that, would it be Solara. So if Solara can detect any magical essence on these crabs, potentially,
I
she
can
may
detect
just be able to confirm.
magic.
Right. So we can at least do
I
that.
just can't identify it. Should I? Okay,
Correct.
well I'll just raise my hand and
Let's
cast.
right. Okay.
Oh,
Why don't-
inside? Okay,
Don't
I'll wait.
you live here,
Yeah.
Lucian?
Yeah,
Live
so I
in your
think I'm-
apartment.
Yeah,
Come
I'd rather
over.
not do this in public.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. Come on
Rather
up.
not identify these crabs in both.
Listen, Nisine has lines. All right, that's crossing.
Simran
lines.
has no tact. It's fine.
And I can get a pot boiling in case the crabs, if they check out, it's hardly reason to waste them. Let's go.
Hey,
Coming
Ursine,
up.
you got
Big are
anything
these
to drink?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go check. I don't know. People coming into my apartment. Let's see if they cleaned me out. So I go up the stairs, the thin, badly maintained stairs to my. I guess it's like a studio tenement kind of situation on the second floor.
Right, you pay rent on it.
I do. I open the door, and it is as crappy as you can imagine. Probably has one table with one chair, a badly constructed bed in one corner. There's some clothes strewn about, several weapons, and a pile of bloody bandages.
Oh,
Oh,
hey, there's no
Excuse-
surprise visitor in here.
excuse me. This time, yeah, I go and I start grabbing some of this like material and tucking it away into a waste bin. Make yourselves at home. Here you go. New scene. It's a table. Brushes off some of dust. Should be sufficient. Let me go see if I can find that drink. And he goes and looks for a half empty bottle of some spirit that he may have procured.
Sure.
So, Simran will go straight to New Scene and go ahead and mutter under her words and move her arms around really quickly and cast Detect Magic, which is essentially this cone of faded light purple light flash comes out of her hand and onto the crabs. So she's looking around for magic.
The crabs do not detect as magical.
Well, while she's holding the concentration, She's also gonna look around just because there's been people she doesn't know in Ursian's apartment, and she just doesn't know if they've like planted something there. Or...
Does
Convenient
it take another
cone.
spell slot to switch it out for detect Old Bay seasoning? That's what I really want to know about those crabs. If we are gonna eat them.
Detect
Oh,
butter.
duh.
Hey, I learned about Old Bay seasoning for the first time this
Liza,
weekend.
that's for lobsters.
Whoa, sorry.
Well, as a vegetarian, I don't know these things, but I was at Rockaway Beach and they had Old Bay seasoning everywhere.
I have family
anyway.
from Maryland, so it's
yes.
the Old Bay seasoning runs through my veins, which can be it's very
That's not
often at the
healthy.
doctor's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're not the maybe.
Put your oil-based
Stick
seasoning
out of character.
content.
Is that your sorceress bloodline?
Yes. Old
The great Old Bay.
Old Bay.
Very
But-
imperial.
But back to the game,
Sorry.
Simran is doing like a basic like detect magic bug check.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Just a sec.
Dungeness and Dragons.
Oh man.
It's my dream
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Took
an
a
RPG
second, yeah.
where everyone is a crab monster.
That's a great view of the top of my head on the overlay.
That's what I look like every time I take notes. It's a problem.
That's why I'm trying to distract the viewers with other things while you
I
figure out
appreciate
how to
it.
answer this question.
So, Simran,
Yes.
as you scan the room and your allies, you detect various auras of magic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of them have any auras of magic that you don't quite
Mm-hmm.
yet that you don't like find unfamiliar. However, in Nusine's pouch of money, there is a slight aura of magic coming from it.
And it's not familiar to me?
Yes, that's correct.
Huh. Okay, Simran's just gonna sit on that.
Brianna did well. Okay, Simran doesn't say anything, but you would remember that Brianna did say that she
Mhm.
like found the coins that she used to pay. For the
Yeah, no,
things.
I remember that.
Okay.
Well, Simran remembers that, but first, Simran doesn't want to bring it up yet, but she will try to talk to Nusine separately. But everyone else wants to do stuff can do it.
Any luck on the crabs?
The crabs are not magical. But did anyone give either of you money or stuff at that meeting?
At the meeting? No.
Did we get money?
No. We did learn a little bit, though. The ship, the direction, it's Nidalese. Hadn't been to Corvosa for the last 10 years. We found the name of the man who owned it, which I'm not finding in my notes.
It is a Garagori Winston.
Yes.
The last.
Garagori Winston owned. Okay.
Right, the last known owner of the direction.
If they give you the address,
Mhm.
Ivor and Simran both recognize it being on the couple, pretty much across the street from the Peren Manor.
Oh.
And Cressida seemed very eager for us to investigate the shipwreck. And I agree with her that it's our best lead.
The underwater shipwreck?
Yes.
Right. She did provide these, and Nusine pulls out a pretty sizable bag with lots of vials, and it's just, it's 10 potions of water breathing. Each one will last about 10 hours. I wouldn't need any, but I'm assuming everyone else would.
The DM, the bag of potions was not where that unfamiliar aura was there?
No, it was not. I mean, you.
Yeah,
Those
I know.
would also be right.
Right.
I figured.
I hope so.
Just sold us
Bad
water.
Yeah.
Hey, Nusine, did anyone give you any money recently?
I mean, aside from what I've earned over the last few months working as a scribe, no, I don't think we received any money.
So I don't know, maybe after what we heard about Brianna finding money on the street, when I was detecting magic just now, there was something weird I caught in your coin pouch that I didn't recognize, and I'm worried someone might have tried to pay you with tainted coin. And you might not even know because you can't get sick, but
Right.
should we take a look at that?
It's worth a shot. I mean, if it spreads through, if we assume to spread through crabs, we could just as well spread through money because people are using that to buy crabs. Like, why wouldn't that? But
Yeah.
okay, and Nusim will kind of begin to not empty out the entire pouch, but just like half of it and kind of separate gold, silver, and copper.
Right.
And Simran will cast Detect Magic again to
And
see
Nusin will as well.
what is
You
pinging.
spot 5 silver pieces that are emanating a light magical aura.
And then
As
if we
concentrate.
keep focusing
is the
on
word,
them,
faint.
we'll concentrate on them for a couple of rounds to get the full details. So you said light
Right.
magical aura?
A faint magical aura, yes. Continue concentrating. What is it? Arcana check? Spellcraft check? For the auras?
Let me double check here. Detect magic. First round, just presence. Second round is number of magical auras. And then third round is a strength and location. And yeah, Arcana. To make
Okay,
the
knowledge Arcana,
School of
please.
Magic. Okay.
Okay.
You got this.
19 for Simran.
And 20 for Nusin.
20. Okay,
It's 1 check per aura, so we could make 1 for each one of those 5s. If we
Right,
if we
right.
fail or something.
The aura itself, the school, well, actually, what's the DC for this?
15 plus the spell level, or 15 plus half the caster level for a non-spell effect.
Okay, so you both recognize for a non-spell effect. Got it.
Right.
You both recognize the aura as transmutation. Well, no, that's not true.
Oh.
It's necromancy.
Ooh.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Right.
We
right.
knew it.
I will allow a spellcraft check also
Ooh,
to
cool.
identify the properties of a magic item.
29.
Ooh,
Nice. 18.
That's really good.
Yeah, that is really good.
What'd you get, Nusin?
18.
18.
Natural
So you can't tell what this magical item does. However, Simran, as soon as you're begin studying it, you realize this coin is designed to pass infections. It's not going to last forever. You're guessing 7 days?
I share this with the group and am horrified.
So that's where the title of the chapter comes from.
What?
And by
7 days to the
chapter,
grave.
No, I know, but
Okay.
Simran doesn't.
Confidence
That's
is
a
absolutely horrified because money is sacred. Okay.
What?
it hits you right
what
here.
do we do?
I have a question as well, which is, are all these coins the same year? The same? You said they were all silver.
They are all
have
silver coins.
They have anything in common?
You begin I mean, if
I'm not
who
going
begins?
near.
No.
I'm gonna.
New scene is the only one touching.
Yeah.
And Nusin is laughing. I mean, because everyone's just what do we do? I'm just you tell people to stop spending money.
No, but
in a city
they're-
like
they're-
this. Yeah.
They're on silver pieces.
Right.
Poor people deal in silver.
Well, the majority
Well,
of people deal in
just
silver.
not rich people.
Gold. Some people deal in
It's the
just
most
gold.
common transaction, even if you're just buying something that you don't need to spend a whole gold on.
I mean, you have to respect that this is practically flawless. I mean, there's foolproof to be able to actually spread this disease with such quickness and such volume. There's no better way than money. There's no way to lock this or quarantine this. This is
Right,
fascinating.
and Nusin, you called it actually several sessions ago.
Yeah.
So take a hero point.
Oh, sure. Thank you. All right.
Nice.
Like you literally called it when we met Brianna, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
DM, can
Very
can I
exciting.
tell with my spellcraft check, like, is this a complicated
you can
spell?
tell 29 is really good. You can tell that it's not that the coins have been enchanted somehow. Like, more than that, it's hard to say.
Okay.
Either through a spell or some sort of magical item.
What I'm trying to figure out is, and I think I would ask is this something you would have to do while you were making the coins, or could you
No,
do it to regular money?
you would like Simran
I mean,
could tell that
You
can
can
do it to anyone.
enchant swords.
Right, and we
Right.
can, and typically, I mean,
It
I
would
haven't
take someone talented, of
right.
course.
I
Like,
mean, but even then, not so much.
Not-
I mean, because even to an
someone
extent,
trained.
right. But even then, I mean, I have no use for it. But there is magical abilities that allow you to enchant. I mean, dozens upon dozens of arrow tips or bolts or any kind of ammunition. I mean, if they were to simply translate that into items, I mean, it could be hundreds of items. I mean, if not dozens upon hundreds of items per casting, and get one or two powerful casters, even just one. I mean, 200, 300 gold pieces within a city would travel in a week across the entire city. The amount of
But
people that handle
why?
it.
But
How do
why?
you
Who's
make-
doing this?
That's the question.
Who
And what spell
assassinates
is
the
this?
king?
I don't know, but like my point is, like, if this is, I don't. It's a spell. Like, yes, if you make an arrowhead sharper with enchantment, that makes sense. But what's the point of making a specific deadly disease and put it on coins? And who would do that? And it can't be a coincidence. This happens right after the events of 2 months ago. I mean,
With lamb. Yes, I agree.
It's, I mean, you destroy, if you murder the ruling power, you destabilize a city. You cause plague, you destabilize a city. The only thing that comes out of the stabilization of the city is that someone else rises to power, someone else new. Right now, there's
And
no way to tell because it's too generic, because they haven't put their votes. They haven't. No one has come forward saying, hey, the queen or someone is failing. We can provide security that they can't. Once we hear those people come out, then we'll understand who it is. But
oh,
why would they come out
Lucine,
until the last second?
you're wrong.
What about the Grey Maidens?
It is the queen
Oh, the
who's
martial
taking
law.
advantage
You're
of this
absolutely right.
situation.
yeah.
This chaos gives her the perfect opportunity to take control.
Come into any
True.
building she wants.
That is
What
very
about?
true.
But not just any conjurer could make this happen. I mean, obviously, doesn't this magic link back to someone in particular? Can't we find out who is capable of doing this? Don't you have
Well,
resources in your?
What necromancer do we know who does really bad things?
Well,
Just
we
as an
know
example.
ostensibly there could be two, but we do know of Rolf Lamb, as well as
Mhm.
another necromancer from Nadal, from Confidence Contacts. But if
Yes.
they're the same, we don't know. Rolf Lamb has been here for months, whereas this Needlese necromancer came more recently.
But after the crap festival?
No,
No.
I got the feeling that this person that Lanthus is chasing has been here for some time. I think
Let's not forget where we found the queen's brooch as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And was this a second round of coins that were enchanted? If Blackjack's sources are to be believed, that people have been sick as long as 2 weeks ago.
That would be
You
important.
This
said the
magic
enchantment only
deteriorates.
We could only tell how long until these have to expire, but we wouldn't be able to know when or where they were enchanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how long do they have to expire? And
Did I
Is
get the
there-
7 days thing, DM, off my spell check?
I don't
Okay.
think you know how much they
Right.
have left.
That
Okay.
I
maybe
think you just
identify?
know that it lasts
Just-
for 7 days.
just the total.
Okay.
Right.
And is there
So
a
we
way
can
to
monitor
break
that.
the enchantment early?
Dispel magic, ostensibly, some sort of dispel.
But you'd have to do that on individual coins, right?
Right. That's not done in batches.
I'm gonna reach into my coat and pull out the Harrow deck. Say, do you think Solara would be able to tell us anything more about them?
It's worth a
we
shot.
just detected magic. We didn't identify.
Worth a try. I have an idea for what we could do in the meantime while we're trying to solve this problem. We know various people who have influence in the city, especially among common folk. People like Corva or the Sable Company. And if we got them to encourage people to stop using coins as much as possible and to try to barter. I mean, especially if this is particularly meant to hit the lower classes. I mean, people could barter within their communities. Not everyone would do it, but I mean, if we could get even 10% of people to stop using coins, we could limit the circulation and protect those people.
It's good advice to give people we meet, but
Should we tell the Bank of Abadar?
I think we should.
Yeah.
If anyone can stop this, it's them.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
The High
again-
Banker, he could, I don't know,
Recall
cleanse
silver
money.
pieces?
I mean, listen, a plague is going to cause chaos. Telling people they can't spend silver or that it's infected is going to cause even bigger chaos. We're just going to be helping it out.
I don't think that
I'm-
that's true. Why
What?
would telling them that the coins are infected make it worse?
They may not die over it.
Yeah. Either they don't believe you and they keep using the coins and it's not worse, it's the same, or they believe you and they stop using the coins and then they don't get sick.
But that assumes everyone listens. It's
No,
never
not
going to be
everyone
100%.
will, but
No,
some
that's
people
on the
will.
off chance that someone does.
Right.
That even that's more helpful than not telling them at all.
Right. I don't see how it can make things worse. It can only make things a little better or
No
moderately
change.
better. Yeah, like it's some people will listen and those people will be protected.
Right.
That's not the ultimate fix.
Mhm.
I
No.
mean, we're gonna have to figure out where this is coming from and who is doing this. But I mean, we
Because-
may as well do something now.
As soon as we cut off this avenue, they will simply find another, less
True.
effective, as
Yeah.
Nisine points out, but this is also something that will save lives.
If
I
it
think
saves
Ivor
one-
is right.
If it saves one life, it's worth it.
Worth it.
And I imagine it would save more. Also, do we do that now, or do we start seeking out the clues that have been given to us?
Well, it's getting kind of late tonight. We should at least go tell who we think needs to be told about this tonight.
Okay.
Or
And
I
maybe
mean,
we go hunt stuff,
if-
start looking for other things in the morning.
what about this guy who owns this ship?
Oh, DM, I have an out of character question for that.
Sure.
So we recognize that address as being right near the Peren Manor.
Mm-hmm.
And Simran and probably Ivor have a very distinct memory of, while in Impa's brain, seeing someone stand over a friend of theirs.
Right.
I'm just making sure I have all of those facts correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Checking.
Who it was standing over that friend of ours?
Was it Rolf?
It was a man, but
It was a
you
man.
saw the back of him
Okay.
in that moment,
We don't
frozen
know.
in time. But you do recognize that is the address.
Okay. That is the address that we saw New Scene in.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. Oh boy!
The
Oh,
Plain Touch
Yeah.
Society rears its head again.
Well, regardless, what I will do is at least cast detect magic on these every day. Once they've dissipated, we will be able to backtrack 7 days to at least find out when they were enchanted. And if
I
it
was
was
think-
within the last 7 days, ostensibly the necromancer would still be here. But if we tell the Bank of Abadar, there's nothing to stop a necromancer from just having access to the Bank of Abadar.
Wait, so you're saying we shouldn't tell the bank?
I'm saying if we tell the bank, it has to be someone confidence trusts.
Yeah, and then on that note, though, do you need to keep all 5? I mean, if
I would presume
Confidence
that would
needs
be
proof
the.
of concept.
I mean, I can go with
I
confidence. I don't think anyone else should handle these.
Oh,
Everyone's bodies are too weak to handle them.
agreed.
I have another proposition. It's not something we can do at every moment, but you can detect these things, right?
Yes.
Right, I think I follow.
Let's just say
We can try doing it to a certain extent, but I mean, if we. Well,
I'm pretty useless if I'm just walking down the street detecting I mean, in terms of
right.
it's
It
gonna take all
requires
my
concentration, absolutely.
But
What?
you could go into the bank, and if there was someone who trusted confidence enough to let you take a look at their drawers, I mean,
I
you
have a
could pick out.
feeling most of this money is on the street and not in the bank.
But sometimes it gets deposited, right?
That's in which case it's probably maybe safe in there.
Well, until people withdraw.
well,
Okay.
It's
What-
a large concentration of money, and they might let you concentrate on it. I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's a good
fair.
idea.
or if we could speak to perhaps the headmaster of the academy, and I don't know if the archbanker agreed, tell people to come and exchange their coin for clean coin. If we can find the coin that is infected, and there is plenty that is not,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
do not quarantine the people, quarantine the cause of the sickness.
Can we
Well, we
agree
should do
that
both.
Can we agree that the crabs are safe though?
Yes,
let's see.
Yes,
I
Ursula.
am hungry.
Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah.
with that,
Mhm.
as Ursion sets the crabs to boil, let's take a quick 5-minute break. Dear viewers, thanks for hanging out with us. I see several of my family members hanging out tonight. Thanks for joining. Fabrizian, cool to see you. Veldrin, of course, always great to see you as well. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, everyone. And we're back. We find the Corvosan Intelligence Agency, all 5 of its members now, walking down south towards Highbridge and in through the doors of the Corvosan Intelligence Agency. There are 2 figures here that are. You look like you've interrupted them patiently waiting in silence. Ashani, a human man of Vudrani descent, wearing white robes that indicate, and with gold embellishments that indicate him a priest of Abadar. Next to him is a human woman, several years his younger, the twin of Ursion, Corva Krupt. And they're both kind of mulling cooled tea. They look up. You're back, Ishani says, and he stands. Everything okay?
No. That is, Simran and Nusine have discovered how the plague is spreading.
How was it? How is it? What is it?
New scene?
Coins.
Specifically silver. So far, that's what we've found. Silver
Abadar,
coins.
no.
I know. You understand, it's imperative that we speak with the Archbanker about this.
Of course. At once. We can go right now.
Oh, honestly kind of wasn't expecting you to say that.
Confidence, I've seen the spirit inside you. Abadar moves through you. It's so obvious. The Archbanker must see that.
Thank you, Ishani. There are a couple of other leads. We, of course, need to find who's doing this as well. And depending on what the Archbanker has to say, we may need to employ some more ground level strategies to help.
Sorry, Corva says, but what makes you so sure that it's just silver?
We're not sure. That's the only thing we've found. But, I mean, unless they're doing copper, silver would be the most wide-reaching, because it would affect everyone.
Well,
Small
do you two
change
have any
pass
money
through
on
everyone.
you?
Don't
you two
touch it
have
if
any
you do.
money on you?
Yes.
If
Right.
you want to put it on the table, we can check if they're giving off the same magical aura. But don't touch it.
So they both put like their money pouches on the table.
And I will go ahead and section them off into gold, silver, copper.
Right, and so you detect a few silver pieces with the same aura in Corva's purse.
Okay. Well, so far it's only silver. Again, small sample size, but it's
And-
all we have to go on.
And Corva, I know this is probably a ridiculous question, but did you get all of the silver from one person by any chance that you know where you may have come into contact with this?
I was doing some grocery shopping yesterday. I went through several different stalls. I don't know.
At Northgate?
In Old Corvosa, Ursion, we had breakfast.
Oh yeah, that was delicious. But regardless, it's probably everywhere. I mean, think how quickly silver can move from one hand to another. It can go through dozens of hands in a day.
In a day.
I look over at Cora? Do you feel ill? Now I'm like, I kind of step forward and like start like looking very closely with a kind of a,
No,
sibling
no,
twin
no,
intimacy.
not at all. I feel fine.
Okay, well, for now.
Well,
It must
Nusine,
not
you
be-
should.
Right. No, I'm
It's not be
gonna
like automatic or anything.
take all this.
Mm-hmm.
Confident. Should we be cataloging who I'm taking money from?
Here, and I just count however many silver out of my pouch into Corva's to
No,
make-
please. What, Commissioner? What are you doing?
balancing the scales.
Hey.
Catchphrase.
Oh, we must tell the Archbanker. Ashani says.
Well, no time like the present.
Yeah, I agree.
Should we all go?
I would feel better if one of the two of you, if not both, I'm looking at Simran and Nusine,
Oh,
came to
Nusine
explain.
should
Simran.
go because I can't touch them.
Right.
But it seemed like you had the best understanding of what this magic is and how it works, Simran.
I mean, I'm happy to come with, but what's everyone else gonna do?
I need to go to the Great Tower, and I need to talk to Commander Endrin.
Okay, so do you want to do that and then we can meet back up here?
Well, it's getting late. I can meet you all in the morning.
Well, Nusine and I we'll probably spend the night here because otherwise we have to sneak back into the academy.
You had to
Right.
sneak out?
They closed their doors
Yeah.
once they heard of the plague. The
did.
academy would never do such a thing. They quarantined themselves to preserve the academy.
Naturally.
Okay, so talking to people at the academy is out.
Unfortunately.
Well, the Sable Company isn't quarantined, and I need to get this information to Commander Endrin so that people there can help.
Before we go, there is one quick personal errand I'd like to take care of. It won't take 10 minutes.
Okay.
Mhm.
If you want to do that, we can think of who else we can tell. Maybe Field Marshal Croft?
Yes, I think that might be wise.
Ursian, if you want to go do that.
And if we're telling people, we need to make sure they're telling people we can trust. The higher up, the most likely they are to be corrupted. And again, if we cause panic, we're just helping it.
Excuse me, higher up where? Commander
Anywhere.
Endrin is not part of this conspiracy.
We don't
And-
know that for sure.
Come on.
I trust
We don't
Field
know that
Marshal
for sure.
Croft.
Especially given what her allegiances have been so far.
Right.
Honestly, I
think
don't.
we could
With the
agree on
amount of the time of night, the amount of gray maidens walking around, I don't feel comfortable going anywhere for any of you going around by yourselves, myself included.
You want to go with Ivor?
I wouldn't
Wanna
mind
come home with me? Spend the night at the Great Tower? We got extra beds.
that. You do. I wouldn't. I would feel more comfortable. I don't want to.
Do we know, Chris, what part of the city the Archmaker will be found in? I suppose we could ask Ashani that question.
Well, so he spent the Shani's I know he spent most of the day speaking with the leaders of the other temples, Serenray, Asmodeus, and Pharasma. But I would assume by now he's back at the bank.
So we could all go back up north together. We can escort you to the Great Tower, Ursian, with Ivor.
Oh, that sounds good. Also, Corva, what's your plan?
The commissioner said I could stay here.
Good.
Of course.
Just wanted to make sure that you were. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But I am relieved to hear that.
It's fine. But if you're heading back to Old Corvosa, would you mind looking in on a friend for me?
Of course. Who?
An old toy maker.
Well,
She sees you all raise your eyebrows. No, or maybe she
Giatori?
doesn't. Yes. How did you know?
Confidence really likes toys. No, we have a lead heading in that direction already, so it's coincidence, but fortuitous. But you're saying this? We didn't know anything about the toy maker. I know that the shop exists, but this is someone you know well, someone that you have
I bring him meals occasionally. He forgets to eat.
Why were you concerned about him, Corva?
Because I haven't seen him in a few days.
Yeah, all the more reason.
The last time I saw him a week ago, he came to me. We had lunch. He's a kind old man. His toys aren't as good as they used to be, but...
Yeah, well, it's a tough town. It's a tough racket. Okay, well, we're gonna do that anyway. But,
Yeah.
So
He's on our list anyway, so.
not a problem.
Why? What lead could he possibly be? Where's
That
the murder board right now?
I think it's behind the curtain.
Unless they went peeking while we were out.
Yeah. Has Corva been snooping?
Not with a Shawnee right there, lawful good.
I'm gonna kind of look at her and I think after Ursian's crack, kind of waggle my eyebrow a bit and say, "That is for the gods to know and us to find out."
Okay. If you say so.
Okay.
You're welcome to stay here as long as you need to, Corva.
I don't know, something's been creeping me out. I haven't felt safe the past few nights.
Well, it's not a safe town right now.
No,
It might just be your good sense speaking to you.
maybe. My instincts have always been fairly spot on. She looks at Nusine for a moment.
Do you
Well-
feel safe here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. I'm getting tired.
Okay.
I want to make as much done before I collapse.
Okay.
All right.
I don't need to role play this scene, but the thing I want to do is grab like a pair of gloves from my desk or something and go to the bar where my sister worked.
Okay. All right.
And I just kind of like pull her aside and just say, Amy, I need you to trust me. Anytime you're handling money, just wear these. Okay?
Okay. Your older sister just looks down at you. I hate it when you get like this confidence.
I'll tell you more as soon as I can. But, if you could take the day off work, that would be even better.
I'm gonna have to. Mom's sick.
But then we'll go now. I can't. I'll come as soon as I can.
Okay. We're going in the morning to the bank.
You don't have to. I'll come. I'll fix it.
Really?
Yes. Of course I will.
Okay. We'll see you soon then. All right. And you leave the bar.
Was that just confidence?
I think so.
I mean, unless anybody came with me, it's like right around the corner.
Well,
we might have walked you there and
Yeah.
let you run in, kind of thing, on the way to us when we were heading out.
Yeah, totally.
but
I'm gonna say it's the only bar in that area is the Baylor's Retreat up at in West Dock, actually.
Yeah.
The only bar on the map, at least. Restaurant and tavern. A lot of lawmen maybe working there. Guards, probably.
Mm.
Baylor's Retreat. Sounds good.
You mean right across the street from?
The hospice.
Yeah.
Yes.
No!
So you step out from the bar and you just like the hospice is just looming ahead of you. Confidence, make a knowledge local check, please.
Totes.
You've lived here. This is your neighborhood almost.
Yeah, I've lived here basically my whole life. Knowledge local.
also, what does your face look like when you come out?
Stricken. 24 knowledge local.
24. So you know that this building used to be a warehouse because this place is filled with warehouses.
Mhm.
You were in the old fishery, not
Bushwick.
like 10 minutes from here. And you also know that this warehouse once belonged to the Arcones. It's a small
That
city.
name again.
They own a lot of warehouses.
I'm just gonna file that away. Maybe for the murder board. Who knows?
Hey, confidence, are you okay?
My mother is ill.
Shit.
Can Ashani help?
We have more important things to do.
Can Ashani help tomorrow?
I will ask him.
Okay, after we go to the bank, I'm gonna need to go tell my grandfather to close the shop. So I'll come back, but I have to do that tonight too. Then.
Yes, of course.
So is everyone going to the bank now?
I'm not going to the bank. I need to go to the Great Tower and talk to Commander Endrin. And if Ursian
I haven't
wants to go,
taken a single note
fine.
during this.
But if we're gonna go to the Great Tower and they're gonna drop me off, Ursian's not obligated to also be dropped off.
I mean, I wouldn't mind at this point, just in terms of, it's if we have to split the party, we might as well make it big slices.
Yeah.
We can. I would. Well, I mean, I don't know how much time we have. I would like to talk to Commander Endrin alone.
That's fine.
If that's okay.
That makes
That's
sense to me. I don't know why
Kind of
Ursion would.
raised me.
Why I would stay? Well, if we're all going there, you're right. I had more thoughts of you walking through the streets by yourself. But if we're all escorting you there, once you're within the walls of the tower, you're probably much, much safer than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Honestly,
tracks.
yes.
That tracks for me. Okay, then I'll stick with the party.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all are dropping Ivor off first.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I
Ivor,
mean, would it make sense for Simran to drop by the shop on the way there? That would literally be on the way.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's no in-game reason why everyone has to go to the bank.
Well, Simran's just going to explain what she saw, but it doesn't. It's a magic shop, not a bar. So she's just gonna go tell her grandfather to close it down.
Yeah.
And because he's her grandfather, she'll say like, "Listen, we think it's the money. Just close the shop. The academy's already closed. You know how this goes."
You can also check the money in his coffers.
Oh yeah, she will. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can probably check his own money too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Right.
once he knows what to
he
look
knows
for.
some cantrips.
Yeah.
I think Cormesh would be like, Simran, the walls of the academy are shut. What are you doing outside of them?
Being my mother's daughter.
Ah,
If you aren't there for classes, what will happen? Your scholarship.
Gramps, people are dying. This is more important. I can help.
I suppose you're right. I will close the shop and put away some of this tainted coin.
Thank you. Well, hold on 1 second, and I'll call Nucine in to come just take it, because we're not leaving it in Gramps' shop.
Well, no, you said that it'll dissipate one day. I just won't touch it for a week. Taking my money. Who do you think you are?
How many silver pieces was it?
Probably a little bit more. Actually, like a couple handfuls.
Okay, here's 2 golds. I'm writing this down. I'm assuming a handful is like 10, so I'm gonna say 20
That's
silver
cool.
pieces. Okay.
That works.
Okay, I'm writing every single one down.
Oh my god, you're cataloging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna see
Like
how each
Baked
one.
minted.
I'm trying to see how each one, when it's dissipates, that we'll have better ideas about when they were enchanted and how often.
Sure.
Whether they were enchanted the same day or in
Yeah.
batches.
Mhm.
or they
Simran,
churn
so you
them
follow
out.
them to the bank as well?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone goes to the bank, but first, Ivor is at the Great Tower.
Yes.
What happens, Ivor, when the front door is locked?
Oh.
Is there a back door? Ivor
No.
would know.
Do you have a key?
Check under the mat.
Has to, right? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure you have a key.
Yeah. I mean, he works here and lives here, so yeah.
Right. So, you go up. It's actually like the front door's on like the 3rd floor, and there's like a bridge that goes up to it. So you go up there, and like normally the door is unlocked. People don't. It is a strange occurrence for there to be, but you do happen to have a big iron key. It's like the only key you have. I don't know why you would have any more keys than that, honestly.
This is Ivor's whole life. Just the Sable Company and the KAA, and
Right.
now the Plain Touch Society.
So you enter in. It's quite quiet because it's late at night. Most people are asleep.
Yeah. I make my way up to Commander Endron's office, which is, I assume, where he is. I mean, he doesn't. He usually stays up late. He has, things to take care of, administrative work to do.
Right.
So he's often in his office, which also serves as his study since he lives here.
Okay.
So I knock.
You can hear some conversation in the room beyond. And as you knock, conversation ceases.
Before I knocked, could I make out anything that was said or what the voices sounded like?
No, you know that this door is much too thick
Okay.
to hear the words. You've tried this before,
Well,
but
probably important, and I'm important, so I should be part of it.
Right. You do recognize. So, Commander Endrin's voice. He clears it. Yes, come in.
I open the door.
You open the door. Inside, you see Commander Marcus Endrin on one side of the desk. His uniform's kind of like opened up, relaxed, informal, casual. And he's drinking some whiskey. And there are two women on the other side of the desk. You recognize them as Ivana Banzul, Commander Marcus Endrin's second in command, and Olweth Wevener, the lead hippogriff trainer.
Oh, she's the one I need to talk to about my mom. Not right now.
Olweth has a short haircut with a shaved side, and there's like a wing kind of pattern waved in it,
Hot.
shaved in it. It's a symbol representing a wing. It's not the wing per se, just something that speaks of it. And then the Ivana has long blonde hair in a big ponytail, and look tanned caramel skin tone. And all three of them kind of look up and they're sipping whiskey. Ivor, good evening. What's going on?
Good evening, Commander. I have some important information regarding the plague, and actually, I'm glad that all three of you are here. I think you should all hear it.
What is it, Ivor?
The KIA has been doing some investigating, and we have discovered that the plague is being spread using silver coins. They are enchanted to infect people who touch them. The enchantment lasts for 7 days. It's highly contagious.
They look horrified, the three of them. And then Ivana turns, Commander, what do we do about this?
The KIA is on their way to the Bank of Abadar to speak with the Archbanker, to try to get a full recall of silver and offer exchanges for coins that are not infected. But I don't know how long that will take to happen. And until then, you should tell anyone you can to stop using silver coins and use the barter system as much as possible.
I assure you, Ivor, Commander, I will do my best to make sure that this happens. Ivana stands up. Who's your commissioner again?
Confidence Bright?
Well, I'll tell Commissioner Bright. Good work. I'm glad. This is like a message from anyone. This is exactly what we need, Marcus. And she turns to him, and he's just like sipping his drink. And he puts it down. Ivana, you can do what you want. But we're going to stay on track. And he looks at Olweth, and she kind of just nods her head. And Ivana, fine. I'll be in touch with your commissioner in the morning, Ivor. I'll see what the Sable Company can do to help you.
Thanks. Is she, like, leaving?
Yeah, she turns to leave.
After she leaves, I turn to Commander Endrin and I say, Commander Endrin, we haven't spoken in a while, but it seems like something's wrong. I mean, and I'm not talking about the city. It seems like something's bothering you.
Can you make a diplomacy check?
Yes.
Hold
Do
on,
I
let
get
me
any
look
kind
up.
of bonus for being close to him?
You've got your Drake badge bonus.
For being
Yeah.
adorable.
Okay. That gives
Plus,
me a
his starting attitude is probably better.
right. The DC is probably lower. I got a 12.
Right, I just need to look up his stats. Oh, 12.
I mean,
Hold
I
on.
rolled a 10 on the die.
Sorry. Looking. Yeah, he's already friendly, but he's got a charisma modifier,
But he loves me.
as does most everyone. Some people are charisma-less. I think there are creatures that don't. No, I don't think that. Are there?
Yeah,
Any-
but everyone has a modifier, I guess.
I mean, undead creatures don't have a Constitution score, so there is.
And
There
some
is
beasts
that,
have no intelligence.
Ooh, he's handsome.
Well, the way you described him, I was like, damn.
19.
Man sounds
19
hot.
charisma. So he shakes his head. Ivor, I
Damn.
appreciate everything you've done for this company and everything you're doing now. Please keep up the good work. The Sable Company needs recruits, people like you, members like you. Not recruits, members.
Thank you.
Stay the track. Do what you're doing.
Okay, I will. But what about? And he kind of looks at Olwith as well and says, "What about you?"
Ivor. Olweth? Olwyneth? Olweth.
Olwith Wevener?
Olweth Wevener. Ivor. There are some things that not everyone can help with. She's like kind of being matronizing now. Sometimes it's better to let the more experienced members of the company handle the more delicate matters. You understand?
Yeah, I guess. I guess maybe I'm not the most delicate person.
You're doing great, sweetie. And she pinches your cheek.
Thanks. She's like older, right? Because she knew my mom.
Yeah, and then her hand like goes from your cheek to your shoulder. Your mother would be proud.
I'm sure she would be. Commander Endrin, there was one other thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I know my time at the KIA has taken me away from my duties here a lot, and Pim has done a remarkable job stepping in. He's maybe the best deputy head babysitter this city has ever seen.
You're right, Ivor. He's certainly stepped up.
And he's an insightful child, and he has a way of knowing when something is wrong. I think you should keep that in mind.
I will. Thank you, Ivor. You know this company very well.
I assume that means I'm dismissed.
Yep.
I kind of like give a little salute and then walk out.
Back at the bank, Shani, walking forward, the guards automatically pass and let you through. He whispers to what seems like a random bank caretaker whose eyes go wide, and she quickly nods and like runs down a hallway. Runs full tilt. He nods and speed walks in the direction after her, going to a meeting room. Archbanker will meet with us there shortly, probably, if he's doesn't take too long from being woken up.
Everybody be very careful. There's been a lot of sick people through these hallways.
Well, fortunately, we're in the place where they can take care of that.
Mm-hmm. Just wash your hands or,
Real quick, here's a link. Actually, let me do a bit.ly for it, because it's going to be long and gross. Sorry. I want to show a picture of Marcus Endrin.
So we can see how
Mm.
hot he is?
Yeah, to see why
Yeah.
you squealed 30 seconds ago. Oh, he's handsome!
Ooh.
19 is a lot, yo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wish any of my scores were 19.
I have a 19.
Do you?
I was saying, I wish my real life charisma score was 19.
I have a 19.
My real life
Oh, but-
charisma score is a 19.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but Pooja, it is.
There you go. I posted it in the Twitch chat.
Ooh, hello. like older
Specifically.
cat.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's like Hawkeye.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually.
He's like halfway between Captain America, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
I dig it.
about 20 minutes after Shawnee leads you to a small and golden conference room, a old man walks in, and here's a picture of Archbanker Darb Tuttle. Dark brown skin, short white hair. Looks like a crew cut. He's wearing a gold mantle with jewels on it, and a more formal-looking white, or less, a more casual-looking white robe of Abadar. He comes in. Hello, Shawnee. You have dire news for me. And Shawnee nods. You might want to sit down for this, Archbanker. And he sits himself at like the head of this circular table. It's got like this little divot in it, which clearly shows that's the place where he's supposed to sit. No one else has like a little special chair for it either. Hello, I'm Archbanker Tuttle. I know you, and he points his finger at you, confident.
Yes. Yes, Archmaker. I used to serve as a lay member of the clergy, but not anymore.
Abadar saw fit to take you elsewhere. Commissioner now, right?
That's correct. I almost don't know where to begin. This evening, while we were making some inquiries into the origins of Bloodvale, two of the members of the KIA, and I indicate Simran and Nusine, made a startling discovery. They believe that, and we believe, that someone has enchanted silver pieces to act as an agent of corruption. That simply by touching them or carrying them, people could be exposed to the plague. And you know, I have no doubt how quickly silver passes from hand to hand in the streets of Corvosa. If we do not stop this, I don't know how many people will die.
He looks to one of the caretakers that are like standing nearby, who like steps out. He just gives them a nod and they step out. I'm assuming you're like showing him the evidence.
Yeah, I gestured a new scene.
And kind of take out and then put regular silver pieces kind of close to him, and then infected ones a couple close to Nusine.
He reaches down into a pouch and pulls out a golden key symbol of Abadar, and he himself begins to detect magic on it. And he pulls back. I see you're right about this. What do you propose?
It is a difficult situation. Whoever has done this wishes to cause not only harm, but fear and panic. Whatever we do, we must do it in a way that invites calm. Perhaps saying that Abadar has Or perhaps saying that you have new money that can serve as a protection. I do not know. Telling people that their money is making them sick will make them panic, even if it is the truth. But we must get it away from them, and you, sir, seemed the only person with the power to do it. I must defer, of course, to your judgment.
Oh my god. What do you even do? I'm like trying to put myself in the mantle of this guy.
Confidence
a
and Ivor have
logistical
approached
nightmare.
this from very different standpoints.
Okay,
Which
diplomacy.
makes a lot of
check,
sense.
please.
Yeah, sure.
I know where
With a
he's
bonus
starting.
because I'm aiding due to showing evidence.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, what bonus is that? +2?
I'm assuming
Yeah.
+2, generic +2. Yeah.
Well, you need to
Right.
make a diplomacy check first. You see.
Well, would I be aiding with
Ouch.
diplomacy or aiding actually with like the actual concrete evidence? Like, what would that be?
Well, he confirmed it himself.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
right. Okay, so
Give me,
maybe I don't need.
but I'll let you roll an aid
Okay.
because of your like presentation.
Okay. Nice. 7 does not aid.
And what was your total, please?
Oh, for me?
Yes.
29.
Ooh, better not.
Yeah. Hey, you want to
Could've
come
been
talk to Marcus Endrin after that?
Could have been a 30 if.
It could have been a 33 in a perfect world.
Yes.
He like shuts his eyes for a moment. And he opens them and he's staring directly at you, Confidence. I cannot shut down the bank, nor can I cease the flow of the coin. From what it seems like, we've already been infected. He looks at Ashani. You know that many of our brethren have become sick, even without interacting with the victims. This clarifies that mystery. What I do not understand is why Abadar would let this happen. Or who would attack our faith.
That, Archbanker, is what we are here to discover. I promise you this. I may not be in a position to take every silver coin that is infected from the hands of the innocent people of Corvosa. But the Gold Fist has given me what I need to find who is doing this, and I will not rest until I do. I am doing my part. All I ask is that you do yours to stop whoever it is that is using the holy symbol of our faith, the currency of Abadar, to poison his faithful. We cannot allow this. I cannot. I came here hoping that though it is difficult, you would do everything in your considerable power to aid us.
To begin cleansing the coin would mean we need to divert our divine powers from healing the people.
Not necessarily. All you need to do is find the infected coin and quarantine it just as you would with a sick person. That takes little effort from what my arcane advisors have explained to me. It is some resource to be sure.
That would work.
But it fades over time. Yes, Simran?
Yes. It has a 7-day lifespan.
There is plenty of clean coin in the bank's vaults, is there not?
We'll have to see. And his mouth like comes to like this pursed pinch, like.
And if there is a great concentration of the infected here, then perhaps this is an even graver offense to the keeper of the first vault than we
Right.
first thought.
I guess I won't be taking my money bath tomorrow morning.
Man, followers of Abadar are weird.
Did you have to say that when I just took a swig of my drink? I legit almost spewed it.
That's why he got really mad, because he was like, damn it, I was scheduled for my weekly coin dive.
He does it in silver? Wow.
I know.
I just feel like fantasy religions are just like super out there. And we
Right.
treat it like
Not like regular
totally
ones.
normal. Like, oh yeah, do that. Naturally.
Good enough for Scrooge McDuck. It's good enough for Abaddon.
Amen.
All right. I can sense the keeper of the first vault is with us now, and he says that he's staring directly at Confidence. What did you roll? What was the die roll on that diplomacy? Just FYI?
16.
Huh?
16.
16. Okay. That definitely could have failed. Which I would have had a lot of fun, like, branding you a heretic, but this is more fun.
Yeah. No, that would have been. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
Right. I've been wondering how this whole inquisitorship is gonna go down, and I think this is the moment where he looks at you. Perhaps I have been blind to Abadar's signs. Perhaps there's some reason he's moving through you and not me.
It needn't be one or the other.
I will look to the scales for guidance and put my faith that your agency can get to the bottom of this. Thank you. We'll be in touch. He nods and steps up and out of the room.
That was easier than I thought.
It went way
Well-
better than I expected. The last conversation he and I had, he threw me out of the church, so it was better.
The one good, I don't know if you can say there's really a good thing that's come out of this, but you're definitely cementing your reputation as a badass in town. So, make of that what you will.
Mm.
It's a great way to make enemies.
I don't know.
But
Like-
now what?
A lot of people respect Confidence a lot, and including now that guy.
We've helped mitigate the problem, I guess. I'm using that word right? But we're no closer to the source, and
And the more quickly we move on that front, the better, because that will give this necromancer, if that is who it is, less time to change course.
or make more coins, or whatever.
If we want to go look for the necromancer, I think we should go to that guy who you mentioned owns the ship's house. That's probably more helpful than a shipwreck if we're looking for a necromancer, right?
Master Winston?
Yes, that one.
And we need every aid on our side if we're going under the river. That is dangerous. I've seen too many people fall overboard to want to dive in there lightly.
I know we might want to do that under the cover of night, but at the same time, it's dark underwater, and I'm wondering if daylight would assist us in some of those dangers.
Oh.
I think it's deep enough to where whether it's
It won't
day or night,
matter.
it won't matter.
Besides, if Cressida is so eager for us to explore that avenue, she can lend us a boat and some guardsmen to back us up, perhaps. And speak to her about it.
Tomorrow, then.
Wait, which one first?
I agree with you. Seeing Winston's house might not be a bad idea.
And Ashani is still there, and the field marshal doesn't know yet what we know. I understand why she was so eager to know about the shipwreck, but... Well, we know that these coins have been in circulation for a while, no?
It's true.
She thought the ship was the source. We now know it isn't.
though still probably important to check out. But
There
cheers
was-
to that.
There was a reason it was a plague ship and downed. I agree, but
And
Right.
I have
Right.
to believe there was a reason that Abadar showed that vision.
Furthermore, we know that most likely the necromancer came from Nadal. The ship is from Nadal, but there was already infected happening here before the ship even arrived.
yeah,
So if it was infected, that could have been something completely separate. Most like, I mean, again, it could have been from the same necromancer, but it's
It could
completely
be
different
a-
from the initial infection of coins because
And we don't even know what that means. It could be this. It could be a different sickness for
yeah.
experimenting with whatever disease they created before applying it to the coins. I mean, it's we should find the coward who did this and bring them before us, and they can answer our questions at the end of our sword.
I mean, to be honest, if I were doing such a grisly thing, I'd want to test it out before doing the full launch, no?
Right,
Agreed.
and that ship probably didn't stop somewhere for days before it reached here. So there's probably a good time to incubate and test.
We have to do it all, is what the answer. Matter of order, and it's
Speaking
late.
of all, we also have to go check in on your sister's friend.
Yes.
Yes, we have to get. Who could forget? We have to go to Giottori's as well. I mean, there's so much to do, and we're standing around now. This was the right call, but we need to keep taking action and get as much done before we drop, because we'll be no good to anyone if we're too exhausted to deal with tomorrow.
Or
Or
to
sick.
ill.
Or
In
sick.
fact, I'm gonna see if there are any other priests of Abadar around, or ask Ashani if he can find anyone. Given that we just delivered key information for saving the city, can we get a free checkup?
On all of you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wouldn't we be able to tell if we're sick?
We don't know that.
I mean, you'd have to wait for the incubation
Symptoms to
period.
start, yeah.
That's
Or
true.
whatever. Yeah, the latency. But yeah, you'll be with a quick one over. None of you are currently infected.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
That reminds me, I should probably stop by my family's home as well. They don't often deal with physical money. It's more notes, but couldn't hurt.
Are your parents not immune?
Not that I would
Wait.
know of.
Wait, your parents aren't like no. Come on, Arcean. Sorry, I don't know where little androids come from.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, long day.
Simran has an idea.
To my knowledge, I don't believe that we've had any tieflings show infected, but I don't believe that they would be immune to it. Seems to be biological. Otherwise,
Tieflings. So okay. We'll talk later.
we don't
Very
need to.
confused.
It's okay.
So moving on, are we?
Going back to the KIA for the night, or are we going to go try to find Giottori tonight? What time is it
Or-
about?
This is all the same night, right? So it's
Late.
pretty late at this point.
It's late. It's probably after midnight.
Oh, and then Ivor's coming in the morning, so
Right.
we can go back and get rest and have a very, very full day tomorrow.
It's not a bad idea. I hate to say it. I mean, there's the idea of to sleep when you're dead is far too appropriate, but like we need to be at our best when we're dealing with the worst.
Yep.
Yes. And I do want to speak with Landis and see if there's anything she knows that could help.
Oh, goodness. Okay, good idea.
Okay, we head back to the KIA.
So, Ashani, one of the caretakers stops him, and I don't know if he was planning on leaving anyway. This is where he sleeps.
Mhm.
But there's a whisper as this little brown bag is handed to him. I think Nusine would instantly recognize the shape of this bag. I mean, Simran would as well, but like Nusine just looks for these things as he pulls a wand out and hands it to you, Confidence. The Archbanker, a gift. And there are 5 charges of remove disease. Yes.
Screech!
Yeah.
Screech!
Who would have thought at the beginning of this campaign that would be the most exciting magical item we've seen so far?
What's the
Well, let's
going
not forget the
rate
hybridization
for
funnel,
that?
Scott. Let's
Oh, sorry.
priorities. Let's priorities. All right, guys.
You're right.
The hybridization
such
funnel.
a short memory.
All right, let's go talk to Leanthus.
Okay.
Is everyone coming?
No.
I don't think
I mean,
unless
she's
Nusine,
literally
yeah.
staying in my apartment right now.
Simran wants to talk to Nusine separately, so I'm assuming that's going to happen after Ursine goes sleep, if he's sleeping at the KIA. But
Okay.
Simran has other priorities that are
Yeah.
not as much as she would love to, nosing in on Confidence's business.
I think one other thing, just sort of as we're walking back, I think at some point said this, it's a real shame that we didn't figure this out before we talked to Blackjack and the Hatchets. They would have been so helpful in this guerrilla money reclaiming.
Well, we know how to get in contact with them at the very least.
Yeah.
With the hatchet, at least.
Right. But Blackjack said he'd leave a note. If we leave a note for him with Tiora, ostensibly he'd receive it when he leaves his.
But it's lost time. It's lost
another-
time we can't make up.
Right. But we can't be dwelling on that. That's
Right.
That's another waste.
Another thing for our full day tomorrow.
Yeah, the
Right.
milk is out of the barn.
Huh.
That's the expression, right? Horses
Okay.
out of the spilt horses. Right now.
Okay.
So before we wrap up for tonight, it looks like we've got 2 big convos to
Mhm.
do. Confidence and Leanthus, and Nusine and Simran. How was that, Homero? Was that good enough?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Which one are we doing first? Is the question.
Let's do Simran and Nusine first, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Because I think I know what I want to end on.
Okay.
Okay.
So as the night winds down and given all of the talking about being very tired, Simran assumes Ursine will pass out at some point.
He's still recovering from rat bites.
That's fair. Simran will go
But who helps
up...
him take off his armor?
Simran will help.
Not Corva, she's there.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
that's fine.
is.
Oh
She'll
yeah,
help.
I forgot about that.
Can you
Oh,
wait
yes, again.
the 45 minutes for this to come off? It's like, no, just kidding. It takes a few minutes. It's a while.
Yeah. We're gonna have some magic chats, right? That's what it seems like.
Anyway.
Hey, Nusine, do you mind coming upstairs with me for a second? It's a spot Ivor showed me.
Sure.
So they go up to like the roof,
Mhm.
and so I'm not good at this stuff, and neither are you. So I'm just gonna say it.
Right.
I was in a vision not that long ago. And I don't know how long ago it was that it was happening, but I saw something in that vision that I think you need to know. And you may already know, I don't know.
Mhm.
But this guy, this necromancer, we're going to go look at Weston. The address we have for him, that is, I saw that in the vision. And I don't know if it was him I saw or someone else. It could have been Rolf Flam. It could have been anybody. But I saw a man standing over you.
Okay. That's.
Do you remember how you became this version of you?
Well, that's an interesting way to phrase that question. What do you mean by this version of me? To my
Well-
knowledge, this is the only version of me.
Have you always been an android?
Within my existence, within my memories, yes.
Oh, so you don't have any memories of before?
No, I only remember waking up. Uh, I suppose it'd be considered the gaining of consciousness or life, but I'm not really sure what that means.
And did you look like this the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, I had less clothes on, but initially, but yes.
But you haven't grown older.
No. My body doesn't seem to age the same way. I'm not quite a construct like those golems that we often see people make at school. I have a soul. That's about all I've been able to surmise.
But you don't, I guess it's not really something you can pick up a book and read about how your soul got there. I mean, we assume we know how the rest of our souls get into our bodies or born with them.
Well, sort of. You are born with them, but they are essentially placed within you by some sort of deity or something. From what I've spoken with Sekham, is that the transferring of souls is not uncommon. It's more of how they're placed. It's I would assume that mine was not. If it was created, it would be by arcane means, unless it was picked up from another location, probably from another plane, or maybe recycled by Pharasma herself. But there's no way for someone of my level to tell that.
Yeah. I really wish we were stronger and smarter. It would help a lot. But I think,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, this is just a feeling. It was a split second in a vision, but I mean, it was you, so of course I remember.
What is this person doing? Just standing over
Just,
me, watching?
just standing over you, and you were on a table. It's been a while since, so it's kind of fuzzy. It's a very busy vision, but I don't know. There might be some answers there for you for questions you may or may not want to ask.
It's. I mean, if we're being honest, I mean, aside from surmising that I have a soul, I do understand that I was created and I have my own personality, but I don't know how. But ostensibly, because it was done with arcane means, I can, you know, I am able to detect arcane energy within me. It's more raw energy that I think is what I've used as energy, which is why I don't require sleep or food in the traditional sense. But there is no real knowledge as to how people like me are created. I've heard shamans speak that we're born from electrical umbilical cords and cut and we grow, but that's just stupid. But perhaps
Well,
being physically created like a construct, but with more attention and with a full soul, and then running off raw arcane magical energy. I mean, that could be it. So perhaps what you saw was my creator. I didn't know it
yeah.
was a person, much less a man.
I mean, they might be, or they might be the one who found you somewhere. I don't know. I
True.
just want you to know what I saw before we walk into that house.
Did you notice anything about that man? Hair color, height, uh, physical features, type of clothing?
Um, I only saw the back of his head. DM, did I see a hair color?
The dark hair color, though. I mean, the lighting was really bad.
And it was
also
across
like
the street.
and it was
right?
through a reflection,
Mm.
and it was a moment frozen by an aeon,
Yeah.
and then I spilled my beer.
It was, I mean, I don't know if it was kind of like what Confidence has described her visions to be like. It was quick. It was a flash. It was distorted through a reflection. I mean, I saw dark hair. I don't even know if it was black or brown, but dark hair on the man. And honestly, I think my attention was more diverted by you. That and the shock of seeing you in such a strange place. But I wanted you to know before you walked in there in case we find something and you have questions.
I've never typically questioned that. I've questioned why I was created, but not really by whom. I assumed it was from a god. But if it was just a person, then perhaps everything matters a little less. Which is good.
I don't
I
know.
think. Well, okay. If you get any more of these visions, I mean,
I will.
yeah,
I
I
will
guess
tell
I
you.
could be. Yeah, I mean, why couldn't it be a necromancer? Someone of that power would essentially be the ability to create something. So perhaps
But
that's what Zalara saw in me when she labeled me a betrayer.
I mean, whoever
All
this
this
was
makes sense.
also let you go and live your own life.
Right, but what does that even mean? They could.
I
I've
don't know.
often thought that sometimes if I was created, I'm simply an experiment. But I've never noticed anyone following or keeping tabs on me. So, but then again, if it's someone of that powerful, then maybe I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. And just full disclosure,
Mm-hmm.
Ivor was in my vision too. So
Also created by this person?
He saw what I saw.
Oh. I'm
There's
not worried about Ivor.
I just want you to know that he does know.
Okay.
I don't think he'll say anything because he's
Right.
Ivor, but you know,
Okay.
just so you know.
Right. Thank you. That's important to know. Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I think you probably have a lot to think about tonight, but I'm gonna head to bed.
Right. Okay. I'll look into this, I suppose. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. And I'm sorry I didn't get to tell you sooner. I just didn't know if it was important or it mattered, and I realize now that wasn't my call. And I should have told you earlier.
That's not a problem. It will most likely not be important until it is. So,
But now
I
you can
suppose
make
we'll
that
see.
decision.
I hope so. This is interesting. Never thought I'd be created by a singular man. It's kind of disappointing. I guess we don't get to
Sorry.
pick how we enter this.
So I'll just put a hand on Nusine's shoulder and then head downstairs and head to bed.
So when you come down, we have bedrolls now.
Mm-hmm.
So Corva's found the bedrolls, and she's laid them out, like 4 of them, in neat rows with a good 5 feet in between each of them. She's taken one of the middle ones.
All right, I'll just go grab. Simran doesn't care. Simran will just grab the one next to Corva. It's fine. That way, confidence doesn't have to work. If confidence is coming back, doesn't have to walk over people.
Is she coming back?
I don't know.
Is she? So the camera
It remains to be seen.
cuts across the street to Confidence's apartment. Blanthus is there. She is a half-elf woman with long black hair. Slender elven like body features, but her face and eyes are fairly human, except for her pointed ears. Rhyme is gone. Not here. Blanthus has some wine, maybe. She has a second cup out, just in case. Hey,
Hey,
you look rough.
it's been a rough day. We found what's causing the plague.
Okay.
Coins, silver coins.
Oh, wow. That's pretty maniacal.
Yeah. So the question is, who would do something like that? My teammates explained that it's necromantic magic. With that and with the ship that came in, it was from Nidal, and you're here following a Nidalese necromancer. This has got to be connected, Len.
Can you make a diplomacy check?
Sure. $27.
27. Okay. And Dyson. And Dyson is her name. The necromancer. I wasn't sure, but she's been known to engineer plagues. That's why the shadow courts of Nidal are looking for her.
They're
It was a while
hiring?
ago. Sorry?
They're hiring?
No. No. They run Nidal. Plagues aren't good for any country, no matter how fucked up they might be. She, several years ago, a small village named Biorendi on the northern shores of Nidal. A sudden, devastating outbreak of the bubonic plague. It was a cult of Ergothoa, led by a lady in Dyson. She escaped on a ship. She's wanted there. And when I heard that my target came here looking for her, well, my target works for the courts of Nidal. Fuck it. I made an oath not to tell anyone but my chosen family. I've talked a lot about my family, and you think that it's my dad and his brothers here in Corvosa. It's not. My chosen family is different. My found family. We worship Desna, and, well, we fight back against the fascist regime in Nidal. The oath was that we're not really supposed to tell people about it.
You don't have to.
The person I'm targeting, they work for the Shadow Courts, and I'm just trying to get a grasp on what they're looking for. Maybe it's this N. Dyson, but my sources tell me it's something bigger. I know that's hard to hear. Everything looks really fucked up, but I think it's something bigger than even this. I'll tell you. Oh,
I know what you mean. I never thought that we would end up like this, you know, being playthings of gods and chasing necromancers halfway across Varesia and shit. Do you remember just sneaking out of parties?
jumping in the river that summer night.
Yeah. Life was a lot simpler then.
We were always pawns. It's just now the game's started.
And it's so much bigger than I feel ready for.
I understand.
You know, you found a family and I think I did too. I'm just, every time we have to fight, I'm so worried that one of them is going to get hurt. And I won't be able to stop it. I know it's a silly thing to worry about when the city is catching plague, and I agree, something bigger right outside of what I can see. I just kind of sit next to her and put my hand on her hand.
She puts her arm around you and just brings you in with her neck around, her arm around your neck, kind of just like squeezing you. There's more. And Dyson, before she disappeared after Randy, I've seen her records. Mostly piracy before that, wandering the coastlines. She ran a small gang on a ship. I don't know if that's where the cult started or if that came after. She had two sisters. An older woman named Ivica, and another one named Sita. And that is where we'll end our session for tonight.
I've got questions.
I bet you do.
Whoa! Okay.
Some, but not all of them are about Urgathoa, my favorite Pathfinder god.
I did not expect the session to go like this tonight. But it was
I would
good,
agree.
you know. It's important to keep me on my toes.
It was
That market
super
scene was, I was
RPG.
like, fuck, okay, all right. But yes.
I promise
Really?
eventually we'll like go to a shipwreck or whatever.
Chris, we just have a
Dungeon
lot
crawling.
of feelings.
That's right.
We just have to talk about them.
I understand. And a lot of things were learned tonight.
Yeah. Apparently sitting on secrets is not working for Simran anymore. He's got to do something about it.
But tomorrow people start dying.
Oh boy.
And the plague will continue to ravish Corvosa.
But we tried so hard.
Yeah, we're doing such a
We
good
took it
job.
all the way to the top.
Right.
did.
And that will help. We'll just have to play to find out.
Yeah.
Dear viewers, thank you for joining us tonight. We're here every Tuesday. Probably next Tuesday, probably not the Tuesday after that. We haven't yet decided. I just said we're here every Tuesday, but that's
Except when we're not.
impossible. We try our best.
We do.
We do. Follow us on social medias. Check our games calendar down below. Keep that link handy if you're ever worried. If you want to know when we're streaming again, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube and check out the first season of A Cage Sustained, where we go through the first book of this Pathfinder Curse of the Crimson Throne adventure path. Anything else?
No.
Great.
Thanks for
No.
watching.
You're
Thanks for
deeming.
watching.
GG, everyone. Have a good night.
We're gonna yell.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.